studio today we have the director of No Fathers in Kashmir, Mr. Ashvin and Soni Razdan, both with us. Thank you for joining us, Ashvin and Soni ma'am.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Hello.
So,
My first question for you would be, No Fathers in Kashmir, of course, has been in talks. From what we know and we hear is A certificate has been given to the film, which of course y'all are not happy with. So for our viewers, for more understanding and for them to know, please tell us what exactly is happening.
Need to clarify that actually a certificate has not been given.
Okay.
Film has been nominated unsuitable for public exhibition,
Okay.
which means it's been banned.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, and I'm quoting from the order, if we carry out some cuts, perhaps then an A certificate would be given.
Okay, Ashwin sir, I want to say something because मैं अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही आर्टिकल पढ़ रहा था. आलिया भट्ट ने ट्वीट किया था दैट इस पे बैन लगा रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर है, लेकिन CBFC ने इसके रिप्लाई में कहा है दैट हमने ये गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन फैलाई जा रही है दैट कोई बैन लगाया जा रहा है. कोई बैन नहीं लगाया जा रहा है. हमारी तरफ से हमने मेकर्स को ए सर्टिफिकेट ऑफर किया है. हम मूवी पे किसी तरह का बैन नहीं लगा रहे. ये CBFC का बयान अभी हर जगह है. व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से अबाउट दिस?
The A certificate actually has not been given. The film has been banned.
Okay.
If we make some cuts, and I'm quoting from the order, the words are maybe they will give us an A certificate.
Okay.
It's just like
So they
maybe.
are contradicting their own order.
Right. Soni ma'am, once again I'd like to ask you, how important is it that content like this, films like these, don't have to go through hurdles like it's going through and it reaches the audience once it's made?
I think the importance cannot be overemphasized. Firstly, they are small films. Secondly, I just want to say that when I read the script of No Fathers in Kashmir, I was so excited because for the first time I have read a script, or at least I would have maybe seen a movie where Kashmir, is talked about honesty, with sensitivity, without over dramatizing, all kinds of things, but yet telling us about the reality of Kashmir in a very charming and enchanting manner through the eyes of two millennial teenagers. And obviously, if you're talking about two millennial teenagers in the film, I mean, they're the protagonists of the film, it goes without saying that this film needs to find the right audience, which then will comprise of young people, young millennials, and also, across the board. But, I can't say this strongly enough. If a censor board wants us to be responsible filmmakers, then they also need to behave slightly responsibly themselves.
अश्विन सर, ऑब्वियसली कश्मीर को आप बहुत अच्छे तरह से जानते हैं. आपकी फिल्म को नेशनल अवार्ड्स मिले हैं इंशाल्लाह. देन फुटबॉल एक दूसरी भी सीरीज आई थी जो कश्मीर की सीरीज, उसको नेशनल अवार्ड मिला है. इस मूवी में जो आप कह रहे हैं ना कि कुछ कट्स अगर मैं करूंगा तो उसके बाद शायद मिल जाए, क्या आप वो बता सकते हैं किस तरह के कंडीशंस रखे हैं CBFC ने आपके सामने?
देखिए, अनफॉर्चुनेटली मैं ये एक चीज नहीं बता सकता आपको, बिकॉज इट इज इन अ लीगल प्रोसेस अभी.
ओके.
पर मैं आपको ये कह सकता हूँ कि इनके जो कट्स हैं, मतलब दे आर टोटली फ्रिवलस. मतलब इट फील्स लाइक आउट ऑफ डेस्परेशन, मतलब कुछ मिला नहीं तो चलो इसको भी घुसा देते हैं साथ.
अच्छा.
जी.
द बेस्ट फॉर्मूला अबाउट दिस इज कि शुरुआत में अक्टूबर में जब उनका पहला ऑर्डर आया,
जी,
5-6 कट डिमांडेड.
राइट.
फिर वो जब FCAT पे गया, FCAT ने वापस भेजा उनको कि देखिए आप इनको सुनवाई नहीं दी है, यू हैव नॉट हर्ड देम प्रॉपर्ली, इट इज नॉट अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ, प्लीज हियर देम, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद दीस कार्ड्स, let them give their own defense, them being us. These people, instead of hearing us on the cuts that they had passed, put that aside.
Okay.
And came up with a whole bunch of new cuts. So what that means is two things. एक तो 6 महीने के लिए जो बैन किया आपने,
जी.
जिस बेसिस पे बैन किया आपने, तो वो कट सब ठीक है.
अब वो सडनली वो सारे सही अब नए कट्स आ गए हैं।
ठीक, वो ठीक, बिल्कुल ठीक, आप
Okay.
उनमें आप उनको शामिल कर सकते
जी।
हैं। पर अब ये देखिए, ये है हमारे न्यू कट्स, प्लीज इन पे आप डिफेंस दीजिए।
हम्म। But Ashwin, what do you think
आप
as a
आप
filmmaker?
आप देख के अपने आप कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं
जी।
सीरियसनेस, ये फ्रिवॉलिटी है, बहाना ढूंढ रहे हैं।
पर क्यों ढूंढ रहे हैं आपके
एंड आई
हिसाब
एम
से? Would you like to tell us? What do you think the reason
ये
could
आप
be?
इन्हीं से पूछिए। नहीं एक्चुअली मैं एक्चुअली एक चीज बताना चाहता हूँ, सॉरी, ऑन अ मोर सीरियस नोट। देखिए सीबीएफसी के जो लोग हैं ना, वो हमारे कौम से, हमारी सोसाइटी से निकले। हालांकि दे शुड पुट लिबरल, ओपन माइंडेड, टॉलरेंट पीपल ऑन द बोर्ड,
Right.
बट दे हैव टेकन कंप्लीटली द ऑपोजिट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन। ठीक है, दैट्स अप टू देम। ठीक है, द पॉइंट इज कि 24/7 from the moment that you are born till the date that you have come to see my film No Fathers in Kashmir, there is a certain rhetoric, there is a certain narrative, there is a certain fear, hostility,
Right.
hate-filled 24/7 in your newspapers, your news channels. तो वो आदमी क्या सोचेगा जब वो मेरी फिल्म देखेगा, कहते नहीं ये तो गलत है। हालांकि जब हम कह रहे हैं कि भाई देखिए दिस इज द रियलिटी, हम गए वहां पे, 10 साल से मैं वहां पिक्चर बना रहा हूँ, स्टडी किए।
जी।
ठीक है, नहीं काउंटर नैरेटिव कम्स अप, उनको लगता है कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, this is countering everything. That is precisely what I'm saying. You need to allow the space for dissent, to allow space for counter narratives to balance this sea of misinformation, propaganda, and frankly speaking, outright lies that is put out by government of India and the various paid media channels, to create an impression of Kashmir and Kashmiris, more importantly,
Right.
which is not true. Until we start admitting the fact of this truth, ये मसला कभी हल नहीं होगा।
Right. Soni ma'am, I'd like to ask you कि we of course we know कि एक political angle जुड़ रहा है और काफी रोक लगाए जा रहे हैं, but on the contrary we have people like Shashi Tharoor who's come out in support of the film. We have Alia who's tweeted, we have Swara Bhaskar who have tweeted, and a lot of people are coming out in support. What is your perspective on that?
Well, I just like to say one thing. I'm very grateful for you. You know, you didn't mention Pritish Nandi. He was the first person actually who came out in support of us publicly, and we are incredibly grateful to him for getting the ball rolling. I'd also just like to say that I do not understand. I actually thought the CBFC and you know the film industry, the film business, and everybody connected with it would actually really welcome this film with open arms. Simply because I thought here is a film that finally talks. You know, I mean, there have been other films. There's been Haider. There've been, you know, Half Widow, XYZ. So there are things which are coming out all the time. I just felt that, you know, what is wrong with looking at reality? What is wrong with that? And particularly in this age of information accessibility, where you can find out about Kashmir from any you know any platform anywhere. You know, what is the problem? Why is it that you know this. Whatever. Yeah. Why is it that we can't bring out this film? What is the problem? I don't understand it.
Absolutely. Ashwin, to ask you, has it helped that you guys have countered the decision by CBFC and gone ahead to the apex body FCAT? Has that kind of helped in any way? What is the kind of response you've got after you've applied for when you countered the decision?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, because of the way this whole thing has unfolded, you will not believe, but we've never even had one opportunity in the last 6 months to present our defense against the cuts that have been done.
Right.
Okay.
Or our defense against a certificate that has been imposed.
Okay.
Rather proposed, sorry. You know. So, what can I say? We need time. I mean, now on 14th of January, I mean, sorry, I beg your pardon. 22nd of January, we now have our next hearing. I just got to know about it. I sincerely hope that they will hear the case on the merits. Is, you know, whatever cuts they've asked for, we have defended. But we have pointed out that films like Heather, Half Widow, Textures of Loss, all of them have received either UA or U certificate. And all of them have countered. One of them got an A certificate, which was overturned by High Court. It is my hope that FCAT will examine our case on the legalities,
Right.
because we are very, very confident, solid in law. There's absolutely no reason why this film should not get a UA certificate.
Right.
And mind you, I have asked for a U.
Okay.
I never asked for a U.
Okay.
So I know the situation. Okay,
Right.
I asked for a UA
Right.
Okay.
from the beginning. If I had said U, okay, maybe they would. But I have
Right.
asked. So
Okay.
I hope that they will give us a UA at that moment, and that this whole thing will then get into the past, and we can start actually getting it, putting film in front.
Well, Ashwin,
But if that doesn't happen,
yeah.
then we go to court.
Yeah. Okay, Ashwin. Yeah. So that's what I was about to ask you. अगर let's say CBFC आपको A सर्टिफिकेट देती है, जैसा कि हम लोग कह रहे थे, अगर आप कुछ कट्स करें, उन्हें समझ में आए और उसके बाद शायद A सर्टिफिकेट मिले, तो A सर्टिफिकेट मिलने के बाद जो इस आपकी फिल्म की एक रिलीज डेट सामने आ रही है, बहुत सारी जगहों पे कह रहे हैं दैट 11 फरवरी को रिलीज होगी, तो क्या अगर A सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है, क्या उसके बाद आप रिलीज करेंगे या फिर लाइक यू सेड हाई कोर्ट में आप दोबारा अपील करेंगे?
नहीं, A सर्टिफिकेट के साथ रिलीज नहीं करूंगा मैं.
जी जी, हमारे एक व्यूअर्स के
This is
अंडरस्टैंडिंग
this has become a point of principle, भाई.
राइट.
Yeah.
कि ये नहीं कर सकते आप. मतलब 2 बार कर चुके हो, 2 बार A सर्टिफिकेट दे दिया मुझे आपने,
जी
चुपचाप मतलब लेके मैं निकल गया.
जी.
नेशनल अवार्ड भी दे दिया, उसके बावजूद दूरदर्शन पे वो फिल्म दिखे नहीं, क्योंकि उन पे A सर्टिफिकेट है.
जी.
ये तीसरी बात मत करो ना यार.
So Ashwin, for the understanding of our viewers, we'd like to know that what is the difference between UA and A certificate, और एक फिल्म को कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है इन दोनों सर्टिफिकेशन को लेकर?
देखिए, it's a very simple thing. Adult films are not permitted to be broadcast on our satellite and terrestrial television channel.
Right.
So in effect, अगर आप किसी फिल्म को A certificate देते हैं, तो their only option is to release theatrically.
जी.
And then maybe go to Netflix. So
Yeah.
you cut out a whole cross section of people who really should be watching a film like mine, but they can't have access to it. Besides that, it is debilitating for the finances of the film, because very rarely does an independent small film make that kind of returns at the box office of theater. They look towards satellite to make their revenues back in terms of to pay back their investors or whatever. And then, of course, internet after that. So this is the issue with the A certificate actually. But I have to say, just one small clarification.
Yeah.
If I had made an adult film, I did make an adult film called The Forest. I never protested against that because it's the correct certification. It had
Right.
blood, gore, violence, everything. This film has none of those things. It has violence, it has no drug abuse, it has no abuses, nothing like that. It's a charming little story about 2 kids who decide to go off on an adventure,
Right.
love with each other, their hearts break, and they discover certain truths about Kashmir.
Soni ma'am, would you like to
That's
add
it.
something to this?
Just that, yeah, definitely. I'm still sort of very bewildered as to why this film is having so many problems. I mean, there is a debate happening in Parliament right now, which I saw the other day, where nobody was mincing any words. They were talking about everything under the sun related to Kashmir, to the point where they're saying that if we don't act on Kashmir fast, we'll lose Kashmir. Now, if you can say all these things that's on national television, right? It's on Doordarshan, it's everywhere else, and, all over the country. So if you can say that, why can't we, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film, very, very touching film. Sensitive film, and so on. So I feel that if it's intended for a young audience, it's intended for everybody. It's not just a young audience, but it is about 2 young kids. And it's ridiculous, in my opinion, to have a film that's intended for 2 young kids, not being able to be seen by young kids. It makes no sense.
सोनी राजदान और अश्विन के साथ हमारी बातें जारी रहेंगी. वक्त हो चला है एक छोटे से ब्रेक का. Stay tuned.
Well, Soni ma'am, I have one more question for you. Hello?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can hear me.
यू नो CBFC एक ऐसी बॉडी है जिसे इसलिए बनाया गया था ताकि वो बॉलीवुड को और एम्पावर कर सके, यू नो क्रिएटिव लिबर्टी दे सके, समाज को वो चीज़ें दिखा सके जो उन्हें एक्चुअली में देखनी चाहिए, बिकॉज जिससे वो भी थोड़ा ग्रो करें। लेकिन पिछले कुछ समय से ऐसा देखा जा रहा है दैट बहुत क्रिएटिव लिबर्टी को रोका जा रहा है। बहुत सारे एक्टर्स, प्रोड्यूसर्स, डायरेक्टर्स सामने आके कहते हैं कि इसमें कुछ गलती नहीं है, लेकिन CBFC कहती है नहीं, ये आप नहीं दिखा सकते। तो क्या ये कहना आपके हिसाब से क्या ये सही है जो CBFC पिछले कुछ समय से CBFC का ये एक ट्रेंड चल रहा है कि भाई क्योंकि हमें ये चीज़ पसंद नहीं है, आप लोगों को नहीं दिखा सकते, पब्लिकली कोई ऐसा जस्टिफिकेशन भी नहीं आता है कि क्यों हमने इसे मना करा, कुछ रीजंस पब्लिकली बाहर नहीं आते कि इन रीजंस की वजह से हमने मना किया। व्हाट हैव टू से अबाउट दिस?
वो ऐसे ऐसे बिहेव कर रहे हैं, काफ़ी आर्बिट्रेरली बिहेव कर रहे हैं, वो गलत है इन माय ओपिनियन. And also, I wouldn't like to say, okay, the CBFC, it's a trend. I would hate to say that, because there have been films which have been, about certain content which is, they haven't passed, they've passed without a murmur. शायद कश्मीर एक सेंसिटिव इशू है, इसलिए वो थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा केयर ले रहे हैं. I would like to look at it positively, although my director has had a terrible time the last 6 months. But I would like to look at it positively. I would like to hope that they see sense and that they realize that there is no point in stopping a beautiful film like this. One way or another, it will become very important for everybody to see this film, which is great. But I think it is a very important film to see, and I'm sure that the people who have seen it on CBFC would agree with me. I just, as I've said, do not understand. Maybe they've got some orders that, be careful or ye or wo, shayad wo apna kaam thoda zyada seriously le rahe hain. So I would implore them to please, just relax a bit. Nothing happened after Haider was screened. There's nothing more really in this film than there was, for example, in a Haider. Nothing really happens once these films are screened. If you recall, recently there was a controversy about Urta Punjab, in which Alia was also a part. What happened after the film was screened? Something positive happened, right? They took the drug problem a little more seriously in Punjab. Things happened. It moved things. I don't see any harm in our whole country understanding Kashmir just a little bit more. After all, we want to bring about positive change in life. And films are about entertainment, but change also happens through entertainment. So let's not look away from such opportunities. I think these are very important milestones in our cinematic history, and we should respect them and respect the people who make them. Seriously.
Very well said, Soni ma'am. Ashwin, coming back to you. Ashwin, do you feel like your freedom of creativity?
Could I add something to that?
Yeah, please. आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं इस पे कहिए.
देखिए, I don't want to blame the CBFC, I'll be very honest with you, but I want to make a couple of recommendations which may change the way things work. Firstly, I want to point out that Dr. Shashi Tharoor has tabled a bill in Parliament to amend the Indian Cinematographic Act, whereby the power to make cuts in a film is revoked from the CBFC, and they actually live up to their name of certification, and certification only, and not big censorship. That's the big difference.
All right.
Right? So no cuts.
Right.
First recommendation. Second recommendation is, please, for God's sake, put a lawyer, somebody who is conversant with the legal system of our country, on your committee. 98% of your cases will go. There will be no appeal. Because all of the stuff that they keep coming up with, last time, even this time, totally bad in law. I mean, there's no justification for it.
Right.
Third thing, please put liberal, open-minded, tolerant people whose sensitivities are not shattered urgently and so regularly, so that they can view the film from a point of view of a liberal, open-minded person.
Right.
And make the judgments accordingly. That will take care of the rest of the 2% that I got left. Okay. So these are the 3-4 recommendations that should happen. So no cuts, lawyer on your committees, open-minded people. And you just do these little quick modifications, censorship will not be an issue. I mean, it'll become a certification board, which is all over the world. America has the most liberal democracy. Britain has it. We never hear controversies from these countries. Because the job is to just alert people, and I think that's a very important job.
Yeah.
That you need to alert parents and mainly parents to say, bhai, this film is not suitable for teen, or it's suitable for universal screening. This is a certification job.
Right. What is the way forward? What is the plan like? How do you plan to face this?
No, well, we're doing what we're doing, and now Ashwin has his hearing. I wish him all the best. As I said, I hope better sense prevails. But the fact of the matter is, if we don't get any relief through these channels, we'll have to move to the courts. There is no other option. We don't have another option.
The plan really is to keep going.
Yeah.
And keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
And hopefully by the FCAT, I mean on the 22nd of January,
Yeah.
once we have our hearing, the system itself will correct itself.
All right. Good luck with that. Good luck to Soni ma'am. Good luck to you, Ashwin.
Good luck to
we
the team.
Good luck to the team. We hope we get to see this film soon in theatres.